So when feminism was reborn with Betty Friedan in the late 1960s, I thought this was supposed to be about the liberation of women. Instead, I really hit a wall of the closed minds, the kind of the new fanatics of second wave feminism. I had already signaled my revolt by my passion for Amelia Earhart. When I was in high school in the early 1960s, through Amelia Earhart, who I learned about through some newspaper article, they found some bones, which turned out not to be hers after all. The eternal mystery of what happened to Amelia Earhart. But through my 3-year research project into Amelia Earhart in the early 1960s, I learned about that wonderful period following the women gaining the right to vote in both Britain and the United States. And these women like Katharine Hepburn, Dorothy Parker, Dorothy Thompson, Margaret Burke White. There were just so many, and Anne Morrow Lindbergh. There were so many women who were achieving and who had attained a tremendous celebrity in the period of the 1920s, 1930s. That, to me, is my favorite period in feminism, because these women admired what men had done. There was no male bashing, as became systemic to second wave feminism. It's an absolute poison that has spread worldwide. A feminism based on denigrating men, trivializing what men have done, defining men as oppressors and tyrants through history. It is an absolute lie. I mean, there have been crimes against women. Where they have occurred, we must condemn them. But men throughout history have given their lives and their labor for the support of women and children. So this is an element in second wave feminism that, to me, is an extrapolation of neuroticism on the part of these fanatics, who have been attracted to this movement. And I've been at war. Amelia Earhart admired what Lindbergh had done, and she was called the Lady Lindbergh when she crossed the Atlantic, heroically alone, in an airplane. You couldn't even see it out the windshield. She was doing everything, by mechanically, etc. So I feel that was the most helpful period in terms of the history of feminism.
So the Generation Snowflake phenomena of the thin-skinned, easily offended.
Yes.
And I find it, that's what I was saying, I find it upsetting, because I, like you, think, isn't the point about women's liberation to be free and strong, to take risks, rather than I can't cope with that. If I see a picture, it's going to finish me off, and who can protect me? And the demand is to, for example, in universities, college authorities, you come and protect me.
Yes.
Well,
it's a return to the 1950s vision of femininity again.
So
when my generation arrived in college, I arrived in 1964 in college, and the colleges still believed they had the right and obligation to act in loco parentis, in place of the parent. Therefore, the women's dormitories, women were compelled to sign in at 11 o'clock at night, so we were safely inside. The men could run free, for the whole night. We're the ones who said, get out of our private lives. And the colleges said, no, the world is dangerous. We must protect you against rape. And what my generation said was, give us the freedom to risk rape. That is true adulthood, for women. And now everything has regressed. And I do believe it's because nothing has really happened, to this generation. They have not had that initial experience that my generation did of war, and there's so that I think it's a result of the world of social media also, where people feel they have so many friends, and they want a sense that reality is comforting them and cushioning them and so on. I think there's a great anxiety and a sort of weakness of outline of the personalities of young people. They do, to me, look like as an experienced classroom teacher of 45 years. I mean, I'm starting to self-censor as I speak to them. I'm starting to, it's not that I give trigger warnings or anything like that, but I do feel that they are easily upset, and that their education has been without a realistic introduction to the barbarities of human history, right? I feel that ancient history must be taught, and that there's too much presentism right now. Right? They see a comfortable world around them, the world of the shopping malls, a world of material prosperity, right? And they believe that by any problems in the environment can be remedied by just a little, using a screwdriver, slightly tighten a screw, all right? And soon utopia, will happen. They have no sense, okay, of the special privileges they enjoy in this very affluent, culture. So I believe in introducing young people to the disasters of history.
But just actually on teaching, because I think that's the disasters of, that's a good curriculum. But they've just announced that they're getting rid of classical civilization A-level in this country. So that's worth knowing. And
well, when second wave feminism suddenly was burst out in the late 1960s and early 1970s, there was this claim being made by feminists that the history had been censored and that soon would be rediscovered all these unknown female geniuses in the history of the arts. And there really was that belief out there. So there was like this search for the undiscovered woman Michelangelo and so on and so forth. Well, there is no woman Michelangelo. Instead, they'll add Artemisia Gentileschi, who was a perfectly capable, competent painter in a certain Baroque style that Rubens did better, etc. And so my book, Sexual Persona, my first book, is about what is the nature of artistic creation, and what is the nature of genius. And I said that men have indeed made most of the major landmarks in the history of the arts, and I tried to explain why. I said it's not because women have less talent, but that men are driven toward hallucination, obsession, diversion, from the priority of women's power over them. And I have all my theories about men's conceptualization that may indeed be related to the intelligence range. That is that women tend to show up at the great midpoint of the IQ range. And you have male geniuses and you have male morons, literally. And I also said that to me, crime. That crime is a conceptual activity, serial sex crime, and so on, and that this is, and I said there is no female Mozart because there is no female Jack the Ripper. You just do not find women showing up as serial murderers. So I think that the ideation is one of the products of the male mind. And I've seen many talented women. I knew many extremely competent and promising women, but what they lacked was the power of obsession. There are very few female obsessives. I think I'm one. And so on. But so I'm an odd sport, but I do feel I'm in between the genders. And that there's a kind of life deranging quality to artistic achievement, where it's a mania, an absolute mania, and it produces rapists, and I believe that feminism by second wave feminism, by hiding, by concealing, by suppressing the evidence for sexual difference, is actually exposing young women to danger, because they do not imagine that there are psychotic males who are looking at them as prey, who actually see them through primitive eyes. They don't understand it. We're like decades away from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, 1960, which is about exactly these things I'm talking about right now. So I think that there are tremendous sexual differences based in hormones, based in biology, that need to be brought into the gender studies curriculum, that are now erased from it. Gender roles are being maintained as fictive constructs, the result of environmental pressures and so on.
God, I dare I disagree, but I'm going to disagree slightly, because I actually found that everyone's obsessed with the idea of the male gaze and they're all psychos.
Oh, the male gaze.
I mean,
is
I
such
know,
a
but
crock.
what I'm saying is this. Well, you can do, because my fear is that that a lot of women that I talk to imagine, or the description is such that every man is potentially looking at you with the view of kind of abusing you in some fashion. I mean, there's no idea that you can be looked at in any admiring way, which is one thing I know that you've talked about and written about over the years. But I don't you think everyone's obsessed with the idea that men are hormonally driven to attack?
No, not the hormone. No, they believe it's coming from social indoctrination. Right. They believe that men are born to a culture that privileges maleness, which is not at all true for many recent decades, and that they learn this, and therefore we can retrain them. We can indoctrinate them to change. You say, I'm the only one really talking about the biological roots of it. And there's, to me, absolutely incontrovertible that there is a biological basis to the greater visual component in male sexuality. All right? There are brain differences here. Okay? Males really do see the visual, they were aroused visually much more than women are. And I believe for whatever reason, I'm able to see women in the way men see women, sort of like like Faye Dunaway in the eyes of Laura Mars or something. I feel like I'm like looking at things in the way men do. So I'm very concerned that the issue of identity, okay, has shrunk down, okay, to merely a gender, your position on a big scale of a ruler. There's a tiny little infinitesimal gradations of gender, and has shrunk to the body itself, okay, and management of the body, and that is a sad consequence. I believe that identity should be much broader. See, we're in this period of a particular kind of desiccated secularism. Now, as an atheist, I still am extremely interested in religions. I feel that world religion should be taught in, at the most fundamental level. Then we would understand much more about Islam and everything else right now if people had been listening to me 25 years ago. Right? And I feel that identity should, like in my generation, 1960s, the people who took drugs, when they were searching for themselves, they discovered the universe through drugs. Okay, there was a vision quest like that of the Native Americans. So there was a metaphysical dimension to their in a tremendous kind of cosmic distance, okay, to their self-identification. They were explorers of the universe, of ultimate reality beyond society. Today, this is sad to me. Okay, yeah. The idea that I am just how do you identify? Okay, I am and there's like incredible range of things to choose from. Yeah, and that just shows you the failures of our educational system. Okay, which has tried to make everyone feel good and to have good feelings about themselves and no bullying, et cetera, instead of giving them hard knowledge about the past. Okay, there is much too much focus on the present. In other words, where diversity becomes a banner for let's remedy this in the present. I don't think that's the purpose of education. Okay, I think education is about opening the great past. Okay, and of global cultures generally. Okay, more knowledge, more hard knowledge. Okay? So this migration, okay, this transformation of the classroom situation and of the university setting into a praxis to cure present problems, that is wrong. The university should be about abstract and detached study of the past, okay, and of the global present. Human beings need religion. They need a religious perspective, a cosmic perspective. And getting rid of the orthodox religions because they were too conservative has simply led to the new religion of political correctness. All right, and so it's the same kind of fanaticism. I mean, I have found that second wave feminists, okay, it's like the Spanish Inquisition. I'm not kidding. Okay, like anything with any form of dissent, even within feminism, is treated as heresy, okay, and they actually try to destroy you. When I wrote my piece on date rape in 1991, there was clearly an organized campaign among feminist groups to get me fired from my university. They harassed the president of the university, and who thank heavens, okay, I had tenure, but also he took the very enlightened view that faculty are free to express their views. Well, the thing about it, but if I were a younger faculty member, I wouldn't have dared to speak out. Okay, I would have been vulnerable in the promotion process and so on. So I do think that the independent thinkers have been driven out of academia. I mean, there are plenty of men who just gave up. Okay, I heard abundantly from letters I've been getting for 25 years. I mean, there was one letter I remember very, very clearly from a woman who said that she was now painting houses in Missouri. Okay, and she said that she was in the comparative literature program at Berkeley, which is extremely PC and so on. And she said that every time in their seminar that she would express enthusiasm about the work under study, okay, people would look at her as if she had created some offense, okay, because of course the new style is that you take this deconstructionist view, debunking view of great literature and art. Therefore, you wade into something which is admired by others, and you, with your red pen, check off, racism, sexism, homophobia, and so on. Right? So this is what's happening. happened is that the universities have increasingly become a place for the time servers, for the obedient, for the servile, right? And the true independent things are gone, okay? And therefore, this is what I say, okay, is that every individual, male or female, must see life as something that you are personally responsible for. You are responsible for your own education, okay? You cannot be dependent on teachers or, people should be looking at college not as a place to receive, most of the teachers are going to be, conventional. Instead, it's an opportunity to read in the library. That's what I did. I went into the library and I just, my shrine was Yale's Sterling Library. I just went in there and I ransacked, okay? So I just floor after floor after floor, book after book after book, and I discovered all kinds of things, forgotten or suppressed voices. They're out there, okay? Illumination and enlightenment are there, available for every individual. It's a matter of personal responsibility. That's the essence of my feminism and of my approach to life. All right.